Yo, good morning. Empress, good morning. Wake up. Good to see you here early this morning. Who we have? Jay. Is that JV or JW? Welcome. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. It's this walk and talk. We are up, we are out, we are at it. Let's do this. How's everybody feeling this morning? Everybody feeling good? All right. Thank you very much. JW. Where you checking in from, JW? Where you at? What time is it? Where you at? Morning, afternoon, evening? We're gonna do this walk and talk this morning. You guys know we do this every morning from 4:30 to 5. We get up, we get started, we get at it. Feeling good, feeling blessed this morning. Everybody out there feeling blessed? All right, 3:31. All right, is that Midwest? Where you at? Are you, what's that, Chicago time? Indiana, 4:30, Empress, indeed, Rhode Island. Woo! Up there on the island, what's the weather like up there this morning? It is pretty warm here in this DMV area. As you guys know, coming to you as always from this area. It is warm, but the expectation is that it's gonna be pretty rainy today. So let's get blessed and be at it early. Let's get started. Thank you for being here this morning, guys. Thank you for everyone for dropping in. As you know, this is your daily dose, your daily shot of motivation, inspiration, and encouragement coming from you here at BNV Finance Fixers. Our focus, what we do here, what we work on here, what we look to achieve and accomplish here is to help you establish and empower yourself through the simple principles of discipline, leadership skill sets, and an understanding of what your purpose and your goal is. So everybody's feeling good this morning? Very foggy, okay. Rain, but walking anyway. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get up and get at it. And Pensacola, South Florida. Okay, JW. So there's an hour time difference. You're on the Gulf side? Wow, that's close. Doing good this morning, people. Doing good, doing great. We're here. Thank you for stopping in. Really appreciate a thumbs up. Appreciate the quotes and the comments in the chat. I'm here to share as always. Originally from Panama City, okay. There's a lot of activity down there, isn't it? Down in Florida on the Pensacola side. As I've shared with people before, my birth father was he was a bit of a rolling stone. So I've been in the Pensacola area before, in an area that it was in Alabama though, but this is an area that only people who've been there. I'm gonna give you the name of a town, and only people who've been in this area would know the name of this town. It's a small town in Alabama called Flomaton. Flomaton, Alabama. Man, this thing might have had a population of 12. Really tiny town. When I was young, I didn't know I was that close to Florida. But Flomaton, Alabama, I remember we used to sit out on the porch of the house, and when it would rain, the road would flood, and we watched the gators just come up and sit out on the lawn. And they were like, yeah, it's fine. It's not fine. That's an alligator, and I'm 6. It's not fine at all. But I did live down in that area, so I'm kind of a little familiar with Pensacola. I guess maybe Tallahassee is over on the Panhandle, possibly. So somewhere in that area. I've been down there before. What we doing this morning? Same thing we do every morning. Same thing we do every morning, man. We getting up, we getting started. I'm gonna share with you guys real quick. You know I appreciate you being here. Here's my little view. Here's my little view before I do what I do. Hey guys, if you took a look in the chat, if you saw in there, today's focus is going to be on emotional intelligence, people. Emotional intelligence. And how emotional intelligence plays a big part in every area of your life. As you know, here what we focus on are the simple principles, the 4 pillars of discipline, and how you can take discipline and empower discipline to improve every area of your life. Once you've mastered your discipline, once you've started to truly understand the principles and the pillars of discipline, how you can incorporate those and use those always. Peace, good morning, how are you doing? Today's math, going over it right now, man. Mario, how you doing? We're going to be going over how we can incorporate leadership skill sets. Ryan, good morning, my brother. Welcome in from Hawaii. So one of the things that we go over, one of the things that's going to be important about emotional intelligence is understanding that with emotional intelligence, it allows for us to make better decisions. We talked quite a bit yesterday about the difference between making a decision and making a choice. And now we're going to kind of continue to expound on that so we can understand how understanding and controlling our emotions changes how we are able to understand our own behaviors, our own actions, and how they impact our future, our development in all areas. So quite often we look at emotional intelligence, and this is one of the things I always talk about when I say we have to be self-aware and we have to develop ourselves. One of the things that we always talk about is there's the mental aspect of yourself, which is your mentality is how you think. It's how you think about things, how you view things, how you approach things, how you approach like conversations, and how you approach solving problems, like the type of method that you use. Whereas your knowledge is what you know to use to solve those problems. Like how much knowledge do you have, right? And so the mentality is, do you think it's possible for this thing to be done? Do you have a mental mind state to be able to figure out whether or not something can be done? And as we grow, we have the ability to use knowledge to help shape our mindset, to shape our mentality, right? So those are 2 different aspects. So your intelligence and your mental are 2 different aspects. After you have your intelligence and you have your mental aspect, you then have to take a look at your physical, which is simply, what is my body capable of doing? You know, what can I achieve? Like, what are my physical attributes? And I'm not just talking about brute strength. We're talking about like your physical attributes, you know? How well do you see things? How well do you hear things? What can you do? How do you move? How do you engage? So that's your physical body. And how do you take care of it, right? How do you eat? How do you drink? How do you take in your nourishment? Is it important? Do you care, and do you spend time thinking about that? Because a lot of us don't. We just shove stuff in our face. You know, like, what's for dinner? I don't know what we got. You know, what's going to be the easiest? So that's a part of development for ourselves as well, right? And then after that, we have the spiritual component, which is very key. It's really high up on the chart because having a spiritual ground, having a spiritual base to work from is paramount for being able to understand our purpose, because we need to be able to connect with God. We need to be able to connect with our designer, our creator, to know exactly what his purpose, his chosen purpose is for us in our life, right? Now, once we can identify with what our purpose is, it really helps us to better engage with others, to go out, be of service, and to participate and engage with others. And then, yes, logical thinking, right? And now the final thing that you're going to have, or the next thing, is going to be your emotional, right? What is your emotional intelligence? That's funny, Mario. So, so what is your emotional intelligence, right? So when we talk about emotional intelligence, right, a lot of people don't even consider it, right? It's referred to in the scientific circles as EQ, but it's important, right? So let's talk about what emotional intelligence is real quick. Emotional intelligence is the ability of an individual to be able to identify their own emotions and the emotions of others, right? To identify the reactive and non-reactive states of people. And emotions usually are not expressed with words. Emotions will usually be expressed in actions, feelings. We understand that not all communication is verbal. And because not all communication is verbal, we have to be able to pick up on social cues. We have to be able to pick up on facial expressions. We have to be able to pick up on all of the things that are part of helping people to engage and connect with one another. Now, all of that explanation is simply to say is that if we want to build a future for ourselves that is filled with prosperity, it is filled with opportunity, it's filled with happiness. We want to create a future for ourselves and for our family. We're going to have to take a look at our ability to be emotionally intelligent. Do we have or do we desire to understand what other people are going through, what we're going through, and how we are invested and we are a part of other people's lives and our own, and how our emotional decisions impact us? As I said yesterday, oftentimes we look at everything as like it's an individual thing. Oh, well, I need to fix my finances. And once I get my money right, then I can get my health right. And once I get my health right, then I can get my house right. And when I get my house right, I can get my relationship right. All of these things sit on top of each other, guys. All of these things work together. If you start working on one, if you focus with discipline on one, you'll find that it has an impact in multiple areas, right? And so what this is simply saying is that if we really truly want to see change in our life, we have to get our emotions under control. And having our emotions under control is not about being able to go out and just not respond to anything, but it's to be able to identify how we are emotionally, how we respond to people, and how people respond to us. And then not let the emotional response, because we have feelings, we're going to feel things, not let the emotional responses control how we're going to behave and what we're going to do, right? So that's the key to emotions. That's the key to having emotional intelligence, and understand how it impacts your finances and understand how it impacts your life. Now, let's apply this to everyday life, right? It is an emotional response. We see it constantly in our politics. We see it constantly in what we see on television. And it's by design. It's a distraction. If you are here this morning and you're watching this and you're prepared to start your day, you're in the middle of the day, the end of your day, wherever you are, I come every day to provide the same thing: encouragement and motivation. I believe that people have the ability with their mindset to choose and design their own path and to achieve tremendous wealth and prosperity, to achieve fulfillment in their relationships. It's definitely there. You can have it if that's what you want. You can set your mind. You can choose your path. You can know your purpose and you can grow, right? And so, good morning. So, here are the things that are going to be important, right? In order for us to continue to get to where we want to go at anywhere in our life. when you talk about emotional intelligence, the ability of someone else to control your day by what they say is a weakness that we must overcome. If we talk about, and we're constantly being moved from one area to another area, and our emotions are tied to things that don't even relate to us, things about conversations and things that people say that are not a direct relation to us or who we are, then we are giving over to those people or to those things control of our life. You say you're in control. You say you make your own decisions. You say you're your own person. But then when your emotions are out of control, and I just covered this about what emotion, about what EQ is, what emotional intelligence is. If your emotions are driven by things outside of you, it's a distraction. And it'll prevent you from being able to achieve all of these things that you say you want. All of these things that you say are important to you. All of these things that we look at and we see other people have and we want to achieve. So if we're trying to get somewhere, we're trying to grow, we're trying to be better, we're trying to be stronger, we're trying to be richer, we're trying to get better on our job, but we can't break out of the emotion of what we think the world should be or how someone should be for us, then it keeps us stuck, right? These are definitely words on words. They're definitely words, right? And the reason they're words is because communication is important. It's the highest level of being able to get things done. It's the highest level of productivity. It's communication, right? Because when you have words, if you listen, if you can decipher, if you can hear, if you have the mentality and you have the appropriate processing ability, you can take words and you can turn them into wealth, right? What do you think a book is? A book is words on words on words. And this is why we come out here. This is why we share. This is why we get together. Good morning, Nick. How are you doing? This is why we get together and we share, because we understand that these words can be implemented into our life. They can be used. These aren't words. You don't have to pay for words, right? You don't have to pay for books. You can go to a library. You can get knowledge and you can institute it and you can use it. Or we can sit back and we can let our emotions be controlled by others, right? Sports, television, movies, gotcha, I gotcha, clickbait ads. There are so many ways in which people will try to get you. People will put things out. If you ever looked at the feed on your phones now, you don't even need to go to social media. You don't even need to be in anything. You pick your phone up and your news is a whole bunch of clickbait responses, a whole bunch of clickbait information. Woman divorces her husband after he did this, right? Here we go. There you go. Here goes another 12 minutes of your life on a story that you finish reading and find out that it's fictional because it's from a newspaper on the North Pole. Like, it's not like this is the type of things that distract us and they tug on our emotional strings. This is why emotion is so important. This is why understanding your emotion, understanding how you feel is so important. Understanding how you respond to things is so important. My mama used to tell me when I was really young, it's like, don't let them get your goat. That's a really old line. I'm old, I'm 52. So when I was growing up, my mama used to say, don't let them get your goat. And why is it important not to let people get your goat, right? It's important not to let people get your goat because once they have it, if that's your sustenance, if that's your provisions, if that's what provides for you, if that's where you eat, if that's where you go to get your life, your lifeblood or your life meals come from that. If they get it, if they get your goat, you got to go after them. You have to chase them. You have to go wherever they lead. Those are your emotions. And so if someone comes up and they say something or they do something specifically designed to anger you, to upset you, your emotional response to that thing is going to be very important, right? Because if we allow for our emotions to lead us down a path that we don't wish to travel, then we ourselves get caught up in responding to things that are for other people. And as I told you before, this is really important. If you don't have a purpose for your life, trust me, someone else already does. If you haven't picked out a path and a vision and a place for you to go and what you're going to do with your life and how you're going to achieve happiness and how you're going to live your purpose, how you're going to live in the love and the fulfillment and in the wealth of your reality, if you haven't chosen what that is and you don't work on it intentionally, if you don't do it, somebody else will. Somebody else has already decided, well, this is how I'm going to use this person, right? And the thing about it, and this is why I don't talk about people in groups, this is why I don't refer to people in groups, is because people believe if I can get someone to buy into a group, if I can get you to be a part of the group mentality, then you will think and you will follow whatever that group says, whatever that group mentality tells you to do. And there's comfort in the group. There's comfort in the herd. There's comfort in being with people who are similar to you in one way or another. And so we get attached to a group. And once we attach ourselves to the group, people diminish you and they say, I no longer have to care about you. I no longer have to be worried about your life. I no longer have to be worried about your purpose or your girls or your goals. All I have to be worried about now, all I have to do is speak to you in the area in which you're connected to the group. Everything we talk about here at BNV Finance Fixers is about you developing yourself. I'm not trying to get you to be me. I'm not trying to get you to be in what group I'm in. I'm not trying to get you to be in what faith I'm in. I'm not trying to get you to be who I am. I'm not trying to get you to invest in what I invest in. First and foremost, I am trying to let everyone know that discovering your purpose is a personal endeavor. It is an endeavor that requires for you to do the soul searching, for you to find your faith, for you to find your purpose and find out what makes you happy, to find out what drives you, to find out how you can in any way be able to live the life that is best for you, that you can find out in any way to be able to find the people who are important to you so you can understand what true wealth is. Because what true wealth is to be able to spend your time with the people you want to when you want to. This is what wealth is. We're not talking about just going out and, hey, I got deep pockets, or I got a mansion, or I own an island, or I live on a yacht. That's not wealth. That's riches. And don't get me wrong, money plays a part. Being able to have money can contribute to being able to do the things you want to do when you want to do them. I'm not one of these people who telling you that you have to be poor in order to have purpose. That's not me. That's not the message that I'm sharing. What I am sharing, though, is that it requires you to work more on yourself than it does on you getting money in order for you to be able to live your purpose. If you seek out the opportunities to be of service, one of the people I listen to, there's a gentleman named Myron Golden. And Myron Golden has this line that he shares. And in the line, what he says is, he says, so many of you are broke, or so many people are suffering, are unable to achieve because the only people's problems they're looking to solve are their own. And it's so true, because we live in a world full of people. We live in a world full of people with problems. And there are people who are willing to pay money to have their problems solved. Are you looking for answers or solutions to problems? If the only solution you're looking for is to your own problems, how do I make my money? How do I pay my bills? How do I get rich? How do I get my car? If we're only looking at how we can achieve things for ourselves, then that leaves us with one thing to do. But that is still the same thing that we need to do. It leaves us with only working on ourselves. Right? So whether or not you're looking to get yourself rich, whether or not you're looking to get yourself a car, whether or not you're looking to get yourself healthy, it still requires the same thing. It still requires for you to focus and work on yourself, right? But when you focus and you work on yourself to make yourself better, you make yourself more valuable to the world by improving self, by improving your health. Where do we think personal trainers come from? Where do you think all of these people who are on YouTube and Instagram and all of your social platforms, all of your fitness gurus and their 3-hour morning routines and this is how you get healthy, how do you think they got there? They got there by working on themselves. So they started doing work to improve themselves. They started doing work to grow themselves. And then somebody looked at them. We looked at them. And then they were like, okay, well, let me tell you what I did. And I know this from experience because I spent over 15 years working as a personal trainer. And I understand what it means when someone just comes in the gym and says, hey, how do I get big shoulders? How do I get my legs bigger? Can I work out with you? And so that started because I chose to work on me. And then how did it become profitable? It became profitable because I saw eventually, because I'll be completely honest with you, the first 3 to 5 years of me being in this environment, I did not see the value in teaching someone how to work out. I did not see the value in helping someone get stronger or be healthier because it was what I did. And because I didn't see the value in it, the people who came to me for help didn't see the value in it either. They didn't care. So when I said, hey, you can work out with me, I'll be here at the gym tomorrow at 7. And I show up at 6. I do my warm up, I get started, and I go to do a strength training routine with somebody, and they show up at 7:45. They showed up at 7:45 because they don't care. They don't care. If they cared, there would have been a different approach. I devalued it. My time didn't matter. My workout didn't matter. I'm giving it away for free. Well, I'll show up at 7, maybe 8. I might not show up at all. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to call a gym. This is far before there were cell phones. And so here I am making these agreements to meet with people. And because I didn't know the value of it and I didn't have an understanding of what I was doing, they didn't respect it and they didn't know the value of it either. And this is what I'm trying to say with you, that it's very, very important for us to understand emotional intelligence is about being able to identify who we are and who people are so that we can make decisions that are based off of sound information and not emotion. So we're not reacting emotionally to everything that happens. So that when someone is supposed to be there at 7 and they don't show up, we don't lose the rest of our day. Oh, I was supposed to have this meeting at 7 o'clock. They're not here. Now I got to push back my next meeting. I'm not going to be able to make lunch. I was supposed to go pick up my dry cleaning. Oh, I need to call John. I need to call Jennifer. I need to make sure. Look, so we fall apart because we are emotionally untethered and we don't understand and we can't see how our emotions are driving us into a hole, how our inability to manage our own emotions are holding us back. And so when I'm talking about what we need to do and how we need to develop, it is all the same thing. It is always the same way. We start by 1, we need to figure out what our purpose is. 2, we need to work on ourselves. There are so many areas of ourselves that we need to work on. But it's really important, guys, to understand that when we're out here and we're offering services, or we're out here, we're working on ourselves, or we're out here, we're on our jobs, and we're doing the things we need to do, if you don't have enough value in yourself, if you don't believe in your worth and you don't believe in your value, do not expect the people who are coming in to believe in your worth or your value either, okay? These are the services that I provide. The services that I provide for individuals, families, and clients and groups. It's exactly the same. It's simply the opportunity for us to sit down and work out a stringent framework designed to help empower you to use the simple principles of discipline to impact all areas of your life. This 4:30 walk and talk that I do from 4:30 to 5 o'clock, for those of you who have been here, you know this is a part of my life. I'm up at 4:30 anyway. I'm out here walking at 4:30 anyway. This is a part of what I do, and I appreciate those who stop in, who spend the time, and give us an opportunity to share and connect. And I've seen people connect and develop and grow. A young man from Australia just a couple of days ago was able to connect with someone while he's dealing with difficulties. And being able to do that helps him. And being able to do that helps the individual. The gentleman who connected with him is Gas Man. He's from Texas, but it provides both of them with the opportunity to care and be of service to each other. That is important. That's important for who we are, right? And now what we want to continue to do, right, is continue to grow on that, continue to work on it. Guys, it's always a pleasure to have you here. Please do me a favor. If you go to the bio, there's a little form. You can fill out the form. I can make sure I get you a copy of the 2DS, right? It's the disciplined dividend strategy. And what it does is a simple system. It's designed to help for you to follow 5 steps to institute discipline in your life. It's a free guide. You don't have to pay anything for it. I designed it so that you can take this and start to work on and start to see the power of discipline in your life. If you would like any additional information or any other assistance or direct support, you also have access to the email on the website. You can email me directly and we can discuss the opportunities for me to assist you directly with any areas of your life in which you're trying to institute discipline and leadership skill sets to see growth. We're not going to talk about what stock you should buy next. We're not going to talk about tariffs. We're not going to talk about who you should be voting for. We're going to talk about you. We're going to talk about your development, your future, and the things that you can do that will impact your ability to be able to grow, right? And so, Mr. Riz, was that Riz Booth? All right. And so what I'm trying to share, guys, and I appreciate you being here, please do me a favor. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. I would love to get a thumbs up. You can head over to the channel. You can like, subscribe, and share. I'm here every morning. I'm here every morning from 4:30 until 5. And I'm here to offer this support. I'm here to give these shout outs to share with you guys. I appreciate you being here. I would love to answer questions. I have no problem with being able to speak directly to any issues that you guys would like to share or bring up. Emmett, good morning. Thanks for being here, Emmett. So, guys, as I said before, I got a wife, I got 7 kids. This is a part of my journey, and I appreciate the opportunity to share it with you in the morning. I'm going to have to get to the end of this road, and then I'm going to turn around and run back home because there is rain expected this morning. Caleb, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Again, guys, I appreciate a thumbs up. I appreciate the share. Do me a favor, stop over to the channel. Subscribe, turn on those notifications so you'll get the notifications every morning at 4:30 that I'm ready to go out. All right, guys? Not a troll, definitely a troll statement. All right, guys, take care. I appreciate you. God bless.